Hello out there, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a review of a figure that I have been waiting for literally months. It is Autobot Moonracer. Now before I take a look at the figure proper, I want to do a quick thank you to fellow YouTube toy reviewer Balt Matrix who let me know about a website called The Chosen Prime where you can find figures that are more difficult to find in other places. Because of his because of him, I was able to find this Moonracer for only 20 bucks plus shipping when most other places would want at least 30 and usually as much as 40 for her. Now, I waited a particularly long time because before I thought to go to the Chosen Prime, I tried eBay, and the only seller I found who wasn't trying to sell her for ridiculous prices was some shady dude in China, and when I placed the order, he canceled his accounts on eBay, and even though he gave me a tracking number for the package, after waiting the ridiculous 2-month estimated shipping time, I realized it wasn't coming. I contacted eBay about it. They gave me a swift refund, so I'm okay. And then I, went to Chosen Prime and got this. So with all that out of the way, here is the one and only Moonracer. One of the G1 female Autobots who has never received an official toy until today. And oh my, she was worth the wait because she is quite the glorious little thing. Okay, so let's get rid of the negatives first because there isn't too much of it, and then I can go to talking about the figure properly. First of all is the bottom of her feet. They are made out of translucent plastic and painted parts. Why would you put translucent plastic and painted parts on the bottom of your figure's feet? I mean, that's just begging for decals to get scuffed and scratched. Like, of all the places that you do not want to rub on the floor, you want the freaking Autobot sigil and the car's cockpit window to be spared that kind of wear and tear. So, yeah, that was a bad placement of translucent plastic and painted parts. The other neg, I guess she does have quite a lot of back kibble. It's not really Moonracer's fault. It's just that I'm pretty sure when they made her character design back in 1985, they figured since Hasbro wasn't making female character toys because, boys don't buy girl toys. Derp, 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 I'm a stupid guy from Hasbro in the 1980s. Her original character design was obviously not made to transform. I mean, there's just absolutely no vehicle kibble on her, which was pretty much true for all the female Autobots. They didn't have any obvious way to transform and just, they just seemed to turn into cars because of the magic of animation. By the way, mine is Liege Maximo Moonracer. Knows the truth behind every lie she hears. That means if you try to lie to her, she'll still know what you're talking about. Alright, so yeah, enormous backpack and weirdly placed windshield aside, the figure is otherwise great. Her head is on a very expressive little ball joint so it can move all around. Yay. And that ball joint is on a stem which can go back and forth so she can pull back, she can lean forward, like she can look up, very, very good neck. Very, very good neck. And her face is just really cute with her pinkish purple lipstick and her big blue eyes framed by that cute little helmet. It's just so adorable. I love this head. I love everything about this figure. The shoulder is ball jointed. The balls are made out of translucent plastic, but the cup of the ball joint is not, so no need to worry about the joint getting worn out eventually because, the translucent plastic is in a place where it's not bearing weight, so that's fine. Ball jointed elbow, which of course affords a bit of a bicep swivel, of course, that's what a ball joint is for. And her wrist, it can move inwards for transformation. Inward moving wrist joints are usually pretty good for two-hand wielding a sword. I'll have to try that one of these days. Now, the funny thing, she has 3 waist joints. Like, there's a waist joint up here, well, I guess 2 waist joints, so just 3 parts to the waist joint. So up here where all of this turns as one big unit, but if you look, it kind of breaks her sculpt a bit because it moves her stomach out of the way, but that's okay because she has another waist joint down here. And that looks much better. It doesn't break up the sculpt. So yeah, she's got waist joints on waist joints. Although, like I said, the lower waist joint is the one that's better for posing. And then you can see she has ball jointed hips with a thigh swivel that is hidden by the sculpt. I love it when the thigh swivels hide the sculpt like that. That's very good. That's very, very good. And she has double jointed knees. Look at that. Super double jointed knee powers activate, right? Like, yeah. I mean, it's a bit obvious, but you know, I just love to see double jointed knees. And then she has a hinge here for her foot, so it goes back and forth. And she has a little hinge here giving her just a little bit of ankle rock. So you can have her take on some fairly wide-legged stances. It is a very, very good-looking, very posable figure. And she has nice big feet, so it can take the weight of her backpack for the most part. Assuming you just... There we go. Yep, as long as you get them feet flat, she can totally take the weight of her backpack, and it's all well and good. So yes, this is a very, very nicely articulated figure. And her transformation isn't too complicated without feeling overly simple either. So I'm not going to do it on camera for the sake of saving some time, but let's get her into vehicle mode so you can see how that looks. Actually, before I get her into vehicle mode, I just remembered I really should show the accessories that she came with, shouldn't I? Okay, first of all, she comes with a gun. Really nice gun. Oops, sorry about that. It has a scope and everything. Very, very good little gun. So it's kind of generic looking, but it's kind of interesting because of the scope. And it also kind of has a 5mm port there. Like, yeah, like I don't know why the peg is there. That's not how anybody would ever hold a gun. I'm guessing like maybe if you had a... There are some guns out there where the barrel is a 5mm hole, so like you could put this in like an extension of a barrel, I guess, make an even bigger gun. But really, you're meant to hold it this way. And fortunately, that panel on her forearm does not get in the way of the gun's stock. So, yeah, all well and good. She can totally hold and wield her gun. And then this is the first. As this is the first time I bought a deluxe from the Power of the Prime series, it is my first experience with the hands gun. Yes, in Titan's Return, the deluxes all came with a hand-foot gun that could turn into a hand or a foot. In Power of the Primes, it can only become a hand. And it also has another mode, which is what they call the Prime Armor. So she has some tabs here on the side of her boobs. She has slots on the side of her boobs, and there's tabs on the inside of the thumbs. And so you can hook them together that wise. And she has a baby Bjorn. Yeah, I really can't think of anything else that this would be other than a baby Bjorn. Because this is absolutely not any kind of armor. And then this thing in the middle here, yeah. It comes out, and then it can, like, it can itself be wielded like a little gun on its own, and then you put a Titan or Prime Master in there, and then she's just kind of carrying around a head. Which, like it could be a baby Titan Master being carried around in a baby Bjorn. That is so silly. So yeah, like most people, ignore the stupid armor mode exists and just treat this thing for what it is. It is a combiner hand. So yeah, unless you want the hilarious image of Ultra Magnus and a baby Bjorn, really not much point to this little unit for this mode. Alright, let's get her into a vehicle form. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't show off her hilarious and adorable Go-Kart Mode. Because of the way the figure transforms, you can basically have the car body underneath her torso with her arms. So like, look at me, I'm driving myself. Whee! I'm sorry, this is just so adorable. It's too cute to be stupid. I love it. Moonracer's vehicle form is pretty cool. It's a uniquely long and skinny affair. I can wrap my hand completely around it. But, you know, it doesn't really have to look like a car because, well, Moonracer's from Cybertron, so she looks like a Cybertronian vehicle. So this is perfectly fine for her. So, yeah, like, this pretty much looks like those weird little abstract designs that Elita 1 and the other female Autobots transformed into back on Cybertron, so I'm willing to go with it. I can dig it. It's a pretty good vehicle form that hides its kibble as a robot pretty well. I mean, you got a little bit of side boob here from the chest plate, which is now part of the roof, and the rear bumper is just a couple of hands folded up in a prayer position, but, you know, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, she folds up pretty cleanly, so yeah, not a bad job at all. She has a couple of pegs on her roof so that you can get in some Titan Master or Prime Master action. Like, look at me, I'm standing on a roof. The car's only legitimate flaw are these two stupid pegs sticking out on either side of the combiner port. They're too long and they kind of touch the ground and they prevent the rear wheel from really going cleanly onto the ground, so it makes it difficult to roll. I have no idea why these are here because I can't discern any kind of functional purpose for them. They're literally there just to get in the way, and I pinched myself on them when I'm messing around with the shoulder unit. Aside from that, excellent car mode. One last thing you can do is sort of just plug in the you know, you can plug in the hand on the back to make like an extra rocket booster. Vroom. And here is arm mode. It's a very good arm mode. She has her double jointed knees afford her now a double jointed elbow. Look at that, that's kind of brilliant. Although you can still do the thing where you use the hip joints as an elbow as well. So she basically has a triple jointed elbow. So wherever you want to bend the arm, depending on where you like to see the bends form, it's all up to you. So, you know, have fun with that. Let's bring in Elita Infinite so that we can mount the arm in place and, you know, see how that looks. And there we go. Just got a big ol' arm. Yar. Oops, unpegged. Yeah, if there's any weakness is that the torso is held together just by, well, her two legs are held together just by this weak little peg system here. They should have used stronger pegs for that part. But yeah, it's a good arm. It's a good arm for Elita Infinite. And when her mold twin Nova Star comes out, it'll go on the other side. And you have a nice symmetrical design with a good color variance, kind of like a Power Rangers Megazord thing going on. And here she is in leg mode, using Elita 1's foot, and it's a pretty good leg. I mean, I'm not 100% in love with those hands right there, but other than that, the shapes are pretty good. Bonus, when you have all four figures, you will have 2 extra hands, so you can actually stick it into this hole in the back of the foot, and that will give you extra heel spur just in case. And again, let's bring in Elita Infinite. I don't know if the figure's gonna stand with only one leg. It's not, yeah, this isn't, she's not gonna be able to stand on one leg, but it does show just how impressively tall the combiner would be complete. So yeah, that's all of her modes. So let's just, there you go. Yeah, the only flaw of this particular set is that only 3 members of the G1 female Autobots have been made for Power of the Primes. Elita 1, Moonracer, and the soon-to-come Nova Star. So we don't have any Greenlight and Lancer figures, which would have perfectly finished off the set. Hopefully when Greenlight and Lancer eventually do come out as toys, they'll still be doing the combiner gimmicks so we can have a complete G1 female Autobot Megazord kind of thing going on. But on her own merits, the Moonracer figure is pretty damn awesome. I love her. She is my favorite figure of this series so far, and I'm just so happy that the G1 female Autobots are finally getting real toys. This is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.